The death of traditional diesel and petrol cars could come sooner than expected, a minister told MPs yesterday. Ministers announced plans over the summer to ban sales of new diesel and petrol cars and vans by 2040 to crack down on air pollution. The ban does not cover hybrid vehicles which have a combustion engine and an electric motor. But Roads Minister Jesse Norman claimed the speed of progress in electric vehicles means the last cars powered solely by a combustion engine could roll off the production lines before then. Giving evidence to a joint parliamentary inquiry into air quality, Mr. Norman was asked whether the government was moving fast enough. He said the UK is already seeing astonishing change in different modes of transport, and said the government is investing a great deal of money in making this happen. This includes offering grants giving drivers discounts of up to £4,500 off new electric vehicles. In the budget last week, the government announced another £100 million of funding to offer these grants until 2020. Mr. Norman told MPs, "Of course the key question is where will it end, and I think it's been clear that we want to see an end to the sale of new conventional cars by 2040, and that I think will happen potentially faster than that because we are seeing radical changes already in the market, and the transition towards electric and the new model vehicles, if I may say so, will address many of the issues around range anxiety." Car manufacturers around the world are racing to develop electric cars which are suitable for the mass market, by making them more affordable and able to travel further on a single charge. Sales of new electric cars and hybrids soared 37% in October compared to the same month the previous year. But this only amounted to 8,244 vehicles, compared to 150,000 petrol and diesel cars, according to figures from the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders. There are concerns among drivers over the lack of electric charging points, with almost 13,000 chargers at 4,500 locations around the country. But these chargers still take a minimum of half an hour to charge a car, and can take up to 12 hours to charge at home. Although most electric car owners currently charge their cars at home, the government is introducing new legislation forcing petrol stations to install more electric charging points. This will make electric cars more practical for drivers making longer journeys. But the National Grid has raised concerns about whether Britain will be able to create enough electricity to power tens of millions of cars. In a report published over the summer that Britain will need to build the equivalent of 5 extra Hinkley Point nuclear reactors by the middle of the century to power electric cars. It predicted that there could be up to 9 million electric vehicles on UK roads by 2030, pushing up peak demand for power. And by 2050 it said electric vehicles could make up more than 90% of all car sales, creating an additional peak demand of up to 18 gigawatts. This is 30% more than demand for electricity ever reaches at the moment at peak times. A study published last week estimated that the forthcoming Tesla truck will need the power of around 4,000 homes to recharge.